All right. I think we're live.
Oh, you know what? It's Thursday, and you know what that means.
It means it's time for the tastiest duo in all of gaming. It's the Game Tasty Show with Dave.
And Jeff,
How's it going, Jeff?
that only sounds like slightly dirty. The tastiest guys.
Ew.
And all things considered, I am okay. I am good. Um, Essentially, I'm good.
All things considered, we are good.
Yeah, I tell you, it's there. In despite of what's happening all around us, there are some rays of hope.
That was the last show 2 weeks ago. That was
Sorry,
the title.
I was gonna say last week I went solo, so
Yeah.
No, I'll give you a quick story before we get into the show. When I was home yesterday, the teachers drove through my apartment complex and waved at the kids, which I think is it's a nice little touch, nice little show. Hey, we miss you. It's kind of cool.
Unless you have that one creepy gym teacher who's like, hey, kids,
So you don't even work here, sir.
you want to do some calisthenics?
Put on the shorts.
Yeah, there's always that one.
Yeah, it always is. Yeah.
Why did my mom have to marry him?
He's a sweet talker, apparently.
That got unnecessarily awkward.
We're losing our minds, Dave.
Oh my god, dude. I'm trying to edit myself so I don't drive my wife crazy.
Too late.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this is the Game Tasty Show brought to you by the fine folks at NerdBacon.com, and specifically me, Jeff Roth, and
Dave the Watchman.
And we're back after I went solo last week talking about Doom and Animal Crossing and all that fun stuff.
How many couches do you have in your Animal Crossing house now?
I have a hay bed.
You have a hay bed?
I have a bed made of hay.
Are there Animal Crossing allergies?
No, but you do have expressions, and one of them actually is sneezing.
Oh, okay.
So, and I bought a doctor's mask in Animal Crossing. So,
Nice.
I tell you, it's still right now up until next week. It is right now my game of the year.
Oh my gosh!
I'm loving Animal Crossing so much. Even though Egg Day, the egg event, the Easter event's happening right now, and I'm still trying to figure it out. It's not great, but
I've heard people complaining about it, and I'm not sure what there is to complain about.
There's a lot of different eggs and a lot of different. The chores become too chore-like, and it just seems like you're holding back content when you don't have to. It's a weird.
That's
thing,
Animal Crossing. It's about chores.
No,
yes.
But it's about making them enjoyable. At this the time, I'm like, this is not enjoyable to do. But
I don't know.
Other than that, lots of stuff happened in my town, my island of Azeroth. Lots of great stuff happening, and it's my game of the year up until next week. Anyway,
the way the release calendar is looking, it might be there might not be much competition for Animal Crossing.
Yeah, should we just start with that bit of news today?
Yeah.
That was announced that Naughty Dog has postponed and delayed Last of Us Part 2 indefinitely.
Ouch.
Not even giving it a release window, saying indefinitely. And
Yeah.
I have the words here from, if you'll indulge me, I have the tweet here from Naughty Dog. Quote, as you've likely just seen, the release of The Last of Us Part 2 has been delayed. We're sure this news is just as disappointing to you as it is to us. We wanted to reach out to all of you in our community to give you a little more information. The good news is we're nearly done with development of The Last of Us Part 2. We are in the midst of fixing our final bugs. However,
Nice.
Even with us finishing the game, we were faced with the reality that due to logistics beyond our control, we couldn't launch The Last of Us Part 2 to our satisfaction. We want to make sure everyone gets to play Last of Us Part 2 around the same time, ensuring that we're doing everything possible to preserve the best experience for everyone. This meant delaying the game until such a time where we can resolve these logistic issues. We were bummed about this decision, but ultimately understood it's what's best and fair for all of our players. We're hoping that this won't be a long delay, and we'll update you as soon as we have new information to share. We wish you all, your families, and your friends the best of health. Thank you for being amazing fans and your continued support. Stay safe. Naughty Dog.
That is rough.
Yeah.
So they're making it sound like because obviously they could release it digitally and that would be fine, but
Sure.
because of the logistics of getting retail copies out for those who have pre-ordered retail physical copies, they just are not willing to do it.
Right.
I think the problem could be solved by saying, hey, we're going to go ahead and stick to our release date, and for those of you, we're going to do it digitally only. For those of you who have pre-ordered a physical copy of the game and want to go ahead and play it day one, we're providing retailers with digital codes for our pre-orders. And you just talk to the retailer. They will swap out your physical pre-order for a digital code, and you can play day one. Otherwise,
that's considering that there'll actually be retail stores open.
Right. But I mean, they don't have to. The stores don't have to physically be open. They can go ahead and electronically send those codes over to like Best Buy, and then Best Buy has your email information on file. You just, they send you an email and say, hey, this game is only going to hit the release date, but it's only going to be digital. We don't know when a physical copy is coming out. Would you like to switch your pre-order to a digital copy? You say yes. Okay, great. Sony provides Best Buy with that digital code. Best Buy provides that digital code to you. No money has to change hands unless you want a refund or something like that.
I don't know.
That's a lot of work, though.
That's I'll say it's a lot of workaround for a game. And I wonder, this sounds like it's more of a Sony deal, more of a Sony
Right.
saying we're not going to be able to do this because of what's happening in China, because not only is this affecting this game, it's affecting all their games and affecting the PS5. So it's affecting Sony's business, but also Naughty Dog. I'm assuming they're also not in the office and they're also working from home.
Sure.
I can only assume. So they don't have the access to everything that they would have access to in the office. So I imagine that's putting them behind as well.
And I know that they are not saying that it's content related, but you and I talked about it on this very podcast like 8 weeks ago. We talked about the prospect of, hey, given the way that this virus is going, if you are Sony right now, this is probably a difficult decision given that Last of Us Part 2 takes place in a world that has been ravaged by a horrific virus.
Right.
Do you go ahead and continue that release? Yes or no? We talked about that like 8 weeks ago, and we raised the prospect that, hey, there's a good chance that Sony's just going to pull the plug on this and just wait it out. And that's exactly what seems to have happened.
It's pretty, it's our favorite term right now, all things considered.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we're in the world of The Division as well, because that first Division game was the Black Friday plague. Well, we kind of have a Black Friday plague right now.
We really do.
It's so it'd be kind of maybe in poor taste to do it right now, but I think they're saying they're pretty much done with it, except for the last bugs. But their biggest thing is we want to make sure that everybody worldwide can play at the same time, and there's too many snags in delivery process right now for that to happen. Whether it be physically through Amazon or perhaps through digital, because so many companies are throttling download speeds.
That's a good point.
So being able to not even be able to play it opening night on day one because your internet's getting throttled, that's a whole thing as well. So it's just, and I'm sure it's stuff behind the scenes we don't know about.
Right.
And this is only the first of, I'm assuming, a handful of games that will experience this.
Right. And then to go with that point that you just raised, caught up in this is also Iron Man. The VR edition of Iron Man is caught up in this. So it's not just Last of Us, but hi, come on in. But yeah, it is multiple games. Someone's sneaking in here for her computer.
Oh, Lorenska's there. And she's hurting herself.
Don't hurt yourself. So anyway, it's too bad. Again, this has to be really tough for, Sony as a business. Has to be extremely tough for everybody who's working on the game.
Yep.
I mean, I can't imagine putting that much time and effort into something and then having them say, well, we don't know when we're going to release that.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Naughty Dog because this is the thing that was going to make them all the money, and now they have to put the thing that makes them money on the side and not make money off of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to sit here and say they're fine because of their past games. I don't work there, obviously, but at least they have a good library to hang on. They're a big studio that can hang their hat on something right now and kind of keep doors open for a little bit. I'm sure indie teams are struggling a lot more than we notice, but it sucks for everybody involved.
How much of a sigh of relief do you think Kojima Studios are breathing right now, saying, thank God we got Death Stranding out before all this hit the fan? Because there's no way that game would have been delayed as well.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kojima, I think he came out and said his next game, he wants to do a horror game, kind of not do PT, but do something different than PT.
Huh.
But he said, I believe the quote was, I want to do something to not make you pee your pants, but also crap your pants. So.
Oh wow! Well, that
he wants to make a horror game, which he's doing a horror game. I'm out. Yeah. I can't do horror.
It's too much. Yeah,
and it's Kojima horror, so no.
I can't even do the Resident Evil games now.
But
like
even
the new ones. Sorry.
Oh my God! Speaking of which, spin off that here on this very channel at midnight Eastern. NerdBacon's own Infinite Knife is going to be playing Resident Evil 3 remake.
Oh my gosh! Wow! I'll have to tune in for that.
Yes, he'll be up late tonight playing that.
Woo.
So we'll come back to NerdBacon here on Twitch and watch some RE3 remake. I watched him play the demo. It looks badass, man.
Yeah, I need to play that demo too. I've got it downloaded, but I haven't touched it yet.
Back to Last of Us.
Yeah.
Trying to think how I want to put this, because I keep saying this was not a game that I was super excited for. The more I saw the list, I wanted to play it.
It was a little too violent for our tastes. Jeff, you and I are gentle gentlemen. We're refined people, and that's just all this needless, wanton blood and guts. That's not for our taste.
Doom Eternal, totally fine. No, I just think like I kind of saw what I needed to see in that first game.
Yeah.
And the story was done so well. And I keep saying that opening cutscene in the first game, I was actually crying.
Me too, dude.
And I don't cry playing games, but that opening cutscene made me cry.
It was so well done and so well acted.
It was powerful.
Yeah.
And I don't want to subject myself to more of that.
Right.
But also like the back half of that first game is kind of a drag. But still, like the more I saw, I'm like, this game it didn't hit for me. But I know plenty of people are looking forward to it, and more power to them. It's just not me.
I played through a little bit of that game, but alas, I did not play through the entire game. So, yeah,
but Doom Eternal guts, totally fine.
Last guy on Earth who has played I've never played Last of Us.
I'm sure plenty have not played Last of Us.
I don't know. It feels like every person has played it. But anyway, Doom Eternal Blood and Guts, that's fine. That's for fine gentlemen people.
That's fine. I enjoy that game. I think I said it last week. I kind of prefer 2016 Doom over New Doom.
Really?
I think I do, because I think, and it's just because Doom Eternal is trying to do too much. I think like they're putting so many mechanics on this game. Doom Eternal is at its best when you're in the room and they're just throwing demons after demons after demons at you, and you have to puzzle your way out of this. And you're just flying through. Everything's working in motion, and it's one of the most satisfying FPS experiences I've ever had, period.
Wow.
It's in between those moments when the mechanics start to show and you know the platforming. And it's like, you're trying to do too much, and just let me kill some zombies and some imps and some cacodemons. Let me just do my thing. And it drags the experience down. Not to the point where I hate it, because I'm still really enjoying it, but I think I just prefer 2016 a little bit more.
Here's the important question for you. How is the soundtrack?
Oh, it's kick-ass.
Okay.
Like, it is still as kick-ass as it was before. So no worries there.
Getting back to Last of Us.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Do we see this affect another, like, Ghosts of Tsushima?
So when was Last of Us 2 supposed to come out?
It was supposed to come out in May, and then Ghosts, I think, was at the end of June.
It depends on how far along they are. I would not be surprised to see a pushback to like August or September. Obviously, I think both games still come out this year.
Yeah,
but it might be just much later. I'm gonna say Ghost sticks to it. I'm gonna say Ghost sticks to their June release.
I sure hope so. I'm very excited for that game.
I am very excited for that game. That is unreal. Looking excited for that game.
So next week, Final Fantasy VII Remake is out.
Oh my God,
you
Dave.
and I are old school, refined gentlemen, and we prefer physical. But with all of this virus BS going on, are you going to go digital on this one?
Yes, and I think so. So here's my plan. Also, you keep saying refined gentlemen. I want to go grab my whiskey and just bring it over here now.
I've just got water today.
I have a cherry Pepsi because I need to stop drinking so much because my collection of Busch Light cans is mounting up.
We did a virtual cocktail class last week, and
nice.
I was too successful in that class, and I'm done drinking for a while. It was not good. It was
the problem
shameful,
right now for
Dave.
The problem for me right now is that no place is taking can redemptions right now, so it's almost piling up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, my plan was to get the special edition physically off of either the Amazon or Square Enix store.
Mm-hmm.
That came with the steelbook and the soundtrack, and because it's a beautiful soundtrack. I'm going to go digital because this way I know I'm going to play it day one. And just because I don't think that if I order from, I have Amazon Prime, but I still think to get from the Amazon to Square Enix to Amazon to me might have some delays right now.
Yeah.
So with this, I'm going to go digital. The problem is it's like 100 gig. So I have to go get an external hard drive for my PS4.
Oh shoot!
I only have a 1 terabyte external hard drive for it. So my thinking is that I'm gonna get a 4 terabyte hard. They got $100 for a 4 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
Stick that on my PS4 and call it good.
That's not bad. I've got a 4 terabyte on mine, and it's definitely helpful.
My plan A was because I have 2 4 external terabytes on my computer. I was debating on getting an 8 terabyte external one, taking my 2 4s, combining them into that 1 8, leave that second 4 on my computer, and take the other 4 to my PS4.
It's so crazy that we even have to have like these conversations about all these external hard drives for our systems now.
Yeah.
I mean, how many games do we really need to have loaded?
All of them.
Yeah.
Well, but not many, but they're huge.
I know.
Because they're so large. And here with the next wave of consoles, who knows what that's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
we're going to give you a 500 gigabyte SSD.
Thanks, Mark. It's like one game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, it's 100 gig, and I can see why for all the damn cutscenes. But I'm gonna go digital on this one, just so I make sure that I have it day one, and I'm just gonna be playing it. So.
Well, shoot, that was my plan as well. But I saw a story a couple days ago where Sony is apparently they're throttling PlayStation speeds, like PlayStation Network download speeds, to help with internet congestion. So it's like you don't want to go physical, but Sony's throttling their own speed, so it's going to take like 3 days to download the damn game from their stupid website.
Can you preload it now?
You probably can. Probably.
Okay, if you preload it now, I'm going to buy it tomorrow because it's payday from tomorrow.
Nice.
So I'm going to buy it tomorrow and then start downloading tomorrow. That way it's done. Well, maybe I take my hard drive, but I'll start at least a week prior so that it's done by next Friday.
How do you like it down under in Australia where they've got it digitally already? Sony's just like, hey, mate, why wait? Here you go.
I know.
Crikey, it's out already.
Sons of bitches. I tell you, this is my number one most hyped for game this year. I think it's definitely probably easily your top 5. I'm not even sure what your top 1 is at this point. I think for you, probably Ghost of Tsushima. It's probably your most hyped game of this year.
I would say Final Fantasy at this point is probably the
really
most hyped. Yeah,
okay.
I'm I'm excited for Ghosts, but if you really think about it, we haven't seen anything of Ghosts beyond a couple of trailers and then just like a quick glimpse of gameplay in that last trailer. And that's it. We really don't know jack about Ghosts of Tsushima, and that's freaking ridiculous when we're supposedly like 2 months away from release after this has been in development for 2 years or so.
And we got a full-on demo of FF7.
Yeah.
So, boy, there's no way this is accurate, but it says to play everything in FF7 Remake is like 83 hours. That can't be right.
That's insane, especially considering this is not the full Final Fantasy VII. This is just the Midgar section. So
I wonder if they're saying that based on the old FF7. I don't know.
Who's saying this?
Well, let me keep those research. So now Forbes is saying about 40 hours.
That seems more accurate. 40 hours is still pretty long, though.
Oh, no, it's saying it takes about 40 hours for, if you want to tell everything in the original PS1 form, would take about 40 hours. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they haven't said yet either. But anyway.
Yeah.
Let's see. Game Revolution estimates based on hands-on experience with the game that it might be close to 50 or 60 hours. The site points out that it may be shorter for those rushing through the adventure to experience the story, but believe that it could take almost 3 days to complete for those scouring every FF7 remake will have to offer. That was from Inverse.
Interesting. Huh. I will be interested to see how it reviews. I really liked the demo a lot, man.
Me too. Me too. I wonder. I'm more curious about how this will resonate with FF7 purists, because it strays from the pureness of FF7. It goes in a new direction, which people hate change. So to go into a new direction with something so beloved like Final Fantasy VII, it is a risk. So
indeed,
we'll see how those who fell in love with the original game feel about. Cause basically, it comes down to the combat. It comes down to the combat is not turn-based anymore.
Right, and I'm fine with that. I mean, we talked about this a couple episodes ago, how the combat is a really elegant mixture of turn-based and, modern real-time sensibilities. It's just like this perfect conglomeration between the two. But yeah,
you said it was their best work.
I think their combat system is their best work so far.
Yeah.
With that said, so they're sending out these emails like behind the scenes of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and apparently there's this new character that they're introducing, like this broski dude, and I'm like, who the hell is this? You don't need any new characters to take center stage in this game.
Were you reading this yesterday?
I was reading this last week.
Okay. I was going to say, it was yesterday. It was April 1st, so.
Yeah, it wasn't an April Fool's joke. Like, it was on Square Enix's site. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm a little worried about where they might stray on this one.
I mean, RPG remakes have not always... I mean, I've seen RPG remakes add characters, too. I've seen them add different storylines to it. So maybe you make a little side story with a new character, or I don't know. But either way, just come out next Friday, and we can't wait for it.
Yeah. It's about time. After
I know
5-6 years of waiting. 5 years of waiting.
I'll be streaming the hell out of it when it comes out next Friday night. Next Thursday night, excuse me.
If I had a physical copy, I would put it under my pillow.
Me too. I would have the soundtrack playing as well.
Yep.
I'm sure it's gonna be just honey in my ears.
We've had a lot of Chrono Trigger music playing in this household lately.
Yeah, you have, because Larenchka's experienced the wonders of Chrono Trigger for the very first time.
She is, yeah. We've been
on the Super Nintendo.
Yep, I've been living vicariously through her as she plays through Chrono Trigger for the very first time, and she's she's really enjoying it.
I am very glad she's enjoying a good game on the SNES, unlike Super Mario World 2.
Yoshi's Island is a fantastic game, and I may
Do
introduce
not
that to her next.
if you love her, do not let her play that game
I think you just don't know women.
because that's almost abuse.
Just don't know women.
That's fine. I will take that hit and never play Mario World 2. No, screw that game. Anyway, other Final Fantasy news, a little funny little updates to FF9 on Steam. They put an update that deleted the game.
Just what can you say? Bravo.
And I don't think they've fixed it yet.
So what happens? Like, do you just like re-download it or what?
I imagine so. The saves, I believe, are fine because it supports Steam Cloud Save. But I don't own it on Steam. I own the physical PS1 copy, so
Sure.
I have that copy. But it's just like, oh, it's just gone.
Wow, that's how do you? I don't even know how a bug like that makes it. I mean, what can you say?
Though. I've heard of other games that just all of a sudden just delete themselves off your machines. Like, what is that?
That's crazy.
Yep.
What else as far as gaming news this week?
This got announced recently. One of my favorite people in the entire world, Ryan Reynolds, is writing and working with Netflix to make a series about Dragon's Lair. This is a real thing.
Wow.
The old I want Laserdisc dungeon adventure with the knights known as, what was his name? I can't remember his name as. The Don Bluth cartoon with Sir. Oh, it's gonna bug me now.
Can't think of his name.
I know. Dragon's Lair.
I know what you're talking about. I don't think I ever played that one.
Dirk the Daring.
There we go.
There it is. Yeah, really old, like early '80s Laserdisc. Don Bluth, who made Pete's Dragon, that old movie.
I think he also did like American Tail.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that's the case as well. But yeah, that's getting made into a Netflix series worked on by Ryan Reynolds.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of.
He would be a perfect Dirk the Daring.
Right. I was never a big fan of the game because I was like, I always just kept dying.
Sure.
But just like that's kind of neat to see.
It's more iconic just for the technology that it used.
Yeah.
More than it's the actual gameplay itself. So,
and it inspired a lot of games to get made for the Sega CD.
Yeah,
like Sewer Shark and other there's a princess anime game on there, Road Blaster or whatever. But yeah, that's happening. They didn't put a date on it, but it's getting in development, so that's neat.
Speaking of Sega CD games, are you planning on checking out that Panzer Dragoon remake?
Oh my God,
yeah.
Yes. Yes. That Panzer Dragoon is a hell of a series. Well, I kind of prefer games like Rez, which is kind of the same concept, but just obviously more Tron-like. I do appreciate Panzer Dragoon for what it did, and the fact that those games are all super rare, especially like
yep.
I think it's Zwei on the Saturn is super rare or something like that. But yeah, I'll check. It was like $20, I think, on Switch.
Yeah, it's like 20, 25, somewhere in that range.
I'm also interested in how Jedi Academy is faring on the Switch.
Yeah.
If people are actually playing that multiplayer-wise. I think it was fun multiplayer-wise. So.
That's one of those excellent classic PC games that I missed out on because I didn't have a PC at the time.
So now they have both Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy on the Switch. Fantastic.
That's very cool.
Other console news, Dave. We have potentially the price point for the PS5.
Oh.
So this was leaked thanks to a post by a Canadian store called Play and Trade Vancouver Island. They're on Facebook saying they're taking pre-orders at $5.59 Canadian, which, do the math, figures out to just under $400 US.
Hey, that's good news indeed. $3.99.
Now, this was just a leak. Nothing is confirmed about this. the 400 is what a PS4 Pro is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna pose a dual question to you, Dave. So question one can go two ways.
Okay.
All right. So question: do you think this is the price point? If it's not, what is the price point? If it is, does this affect Microsoft?
I think that this is the price point that they want to hit. $500
Okay.
is a lot to ask for a video game console.
Okay.
Even though it's been done in the past, it's a lot to ask.
Recently as well.
Right. Yeah, the last generation had Microsoft launching at $499. So I think that this is the price.
Okay.
What was the second part? I'm sorry.
Does this affect Microsoft? Or should they be worried?
I don't think this is going to affect Microsoft because Microsoft is pretty set in the tech that they are putting in their box. And they've been very confident with their box. I mean, remember back in December, we got our first glimpse of the Xbox Series X. So
yeah.
Plus, there are persistent rumors that there's going to be a second SKU, which is going to be more of a pared down version and an all digital version. So they can release that as well and probably undercut that $400 price.
And they're offering full backwards compatibility. Full.
Wow. Yeah. And
full.
Sony ain't doing that yet, which is...
Sony's doing some.
We are doing some backwards compatibility of the top 100 games at launch.
No, we'll do the top two, Knack and Knack 2.
That's right. The first two available will be Knack and Knack 2. And
I wonder if that's working.
The rest of the 98 games will not unlock until after you have played and platinumed both Knack and Knack 2 and written a thesis on why they are the two greatest platformers ever made. Sent directly to me, Mark Cerny, the Lord of Technology.
And then we were playing all Crash Bandicoot games. Your Mark Cerny is impeccable. I'm a little nervous.
I am a real boy. I am not an android, despite the rumors that are going around. See how naturally I smile.
Oh boy. Okay, so maybe it's not full for Xbox. I think as games that you could play on it before can still be played on the Xbox One. So maybe not everything, but it looks like if you can play the Xbox One, you can play it on Series X.
All right. Well, that's passable, and they're continuing to add to that backwards compatibility.
Sure. Anyway, so I think that's a good price point for the PS5, obviously, but I think no matter what they do, the Xbox sounds like it's going to outsell them. Like what Microsoft is doing right now is with marketing, with how the system operates, with the innards, with the outers, like with Xbox's plan, they seem to have their ish together.
Yeah.
And Sony's kind of scrambling right now. And they were even before the virus stuff was happening. Like it seemed like Microsoft, for lack of a better term, nutted up and just say, you know what, we got our ass kicked last generation. We buy all these developers and let's get set for this next generation. And they're coming out guns blazing.
I think you're right. One thing I will say is I don't think sales matter as much in the next generation. All that matters is, again, and I've been saying this for 2 years, Xbox is no longer just a piece of hardware that sits under the box.
Right.
Yes, there is an Xbox console that sits under the box, but Xbox is the overreaching, it's the all-encompassing service.
Sure.
I am playing Xbox, whether it's Game Cloud or xCloud on my phone, that's Xbox. Yep. Whether I'm playing, a Game Pass title on my PC, that's Xbox you're playing.
Yep.
Wherever you're interacting with Xbox, you're playing Xbox. Doesn't matter what device it is. That's all of those devices, cloud, everything, that's all Xbox. So they're more concerned about how many people are interacting with all of that together as Xbox more than they're concerned with how many pieces of this box do we sell.
And I think then going back then, the fact that they are everywhere, buying these developers up and making their games and making that just increases their, because not only are they everywhere, they have more games and they have
Right.
now if they have better, that's kind of your prerogative, but you have all of these games because they're more focused on giving you great software. Yes, you can buy this PC like console and it looks gorgeous from the parts that we've seen, but it's the fact that you can take this experience on your PC, on your phone, with these great games from these great developers. They have thought ahead and they are winning.
And it's not even a matter of, I mean, like you said, yeah, it's going to be the best experience if you've got that box, but it's not essential. Halo Infinite, for example, we've talked about this for years. The theory that, hey, we bet that Microsoft is going to go forwards compatible, and that's exactly what they said that they're doing. So you don't need the Xbox Series X necessarily to play Halo Infinite. You'll be playing it on your Xbox One S and your Xbox One X,
or my PC,
or on your PC, or on xCloud. Doesn't matter. Like, all of these games are going to play on your old hardware. They're just going to get upscaled when you graduate to the new hardware. So it's all about how many people are interacting with the service and how many people are interacting with each game. The sales of the game are important, don't get me wrong, but you see all these fanboys on social media talking about, oh, well, I see that Game X is on top of the charts this week. And, like, they know something. Like, any of this matters to them, being a fan of video games. Like, why are you talking about what sells how much? That's just, all that's doing is feeding into this stupid mentality of justifying your liking a game or a brand. It's so stupid. It's so immature. But
I was trying to figure out which forum voice you were doing. That was Recent Era or
that was Twitter. That was Twitter.
Okay, that's Twitter. All right.
So yeah, all these fanboys counting sales charts, like, you're immature. You're living in the past. You're looking at something that is not even going to matter to game companies in the future. It's about how many people are interacting with the title and how long those interactions are lasting. How many people touched Ori? It's not how many people bought Ori. It's how many people touched Ori. Because in order to touch Ori, it means you have to either buy the game or be a subscriber to the service.
You go through Microsoft.
Yeah. You are interacting with Xbox to get to Ori. That's what matters. And the time spent interacting with each game is what's going to matter, because that's how indie developers are going to get paid.
And so do you see perhaps Sony leaning into that with this next generation? They kind of have to, don't they? Or is that kind of out of their realm?
I don't think that they're as well prepared. Now, with that said, I know that there are people who will point out, wait a second. Sony did the streaming thing first. Yes, they did. Yep. Sony, did all that stuff first. They didn't fully commit to it. Their streaming service, PS Now, sucked.
Very much, yes.
And I don't know how it is now. I mean, this is like 6 years ago that I tried PlayStation Now when they were first launching it. Yeah. And my internet was nowhere near as good as it is now. But with that being said, it sucked. In the pre-launch beta, it was terrible.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
I have a PlayStation Vita. I have really great internet at home. And the streaming from console to Vita in my bedroom sucks. Even just like down the hall sucks. There's no excuse for that. So I don't think that Sony is as well equipped for the transition to games as service as Microsoft has been, because Microsoft, as we've talked about for years, they've been preparing for this
Yeah.
for so long, you know.
These are the fruits of their labors. Plus, Sony has to open up the idea more on crossplay. They have been so against crossplay. Now, the games like Call of Duty and Rocket League starting to open the doors a little bit, but you can tell like Sony is hesitant to do any business with Microsoft or Nintendo,
Right.
or even PC stuff. They're like, no, it's Sony stuff or nothing. But
Well,
now you're seeing Sony games come to PC. You're seeing Death Stranding. You're seeing Horizon Zero Dawn. God of War maybe coming to PC. There's a rumor saying that may happen. So perhaps the doors are opening for that. But they're well back of the pack as far as that. Microsoft is so far in front with that stuff.
Right. And I think it's going to be a while before you see Sony adopt a, you know, day one on PlayStation and PC philosophy like Microsoft has.
Yeah.
They still, and I don't disagree with them. They still look at it. They still look at exclusive content as having value.
Sure.
And it has value in being exclusive. It brings a lot of value to that brand. And you can't argue with them. I mean, that's one of the two main reasons that PlayStation 4 was the dominant platform in this generation. It's because Microsoft bungled the Xbox One launch so badly, and it was much too expensive. So Sony beat them on price and messaging at launch, and they just had a ton of exclusive games from not only their first-party studios, who probably did their best work of any Sony generation this gen. God. I mean, really.
And God of War is one of my favorite games, period.
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
Yeah, and third-party studios put out amazing content as well. So, I don't know. We'll see. Ultimately, it's just video games. It doesn't matter in the end.
Right.
Fuck it.
And I think Sony's going to beat them again as far as price goes. I think the Series X will come a little bit higher, but about $450, $500 the most.
Yeah.
But I think this time around, though, Microsoft has a better overall product, not with just the Series X, but everything else around it. That I think Microsoft is set up so well to achieve greatness in this next generation.
I just want to see some games already, and it's really weird that we have these supposed 2020 launches, and we're still just seeing random, really crappy looking third-party games. I mean, there's that one PS5, PS4 game that Squaresoft showed, and it looks terrible. It's like all these really stupid-looking post-apocalyptic shooters is all what we're getting from
we were saying it last year during E3, is that every game is just the same setting.
Yeah.
And everything's so dark, everything's supernatural. It's like, can I have something that's fun?
Yeah.
Like, can I have some brightness, please? Like,
yeah.
Damn it.
Bring on the supposed Mario remasters already.
Right. So that's a thing if you want to switch gears real quick.
Yes.
So Nintendo is saying that they're reportedly re-release most of Mario's 35-year back catalog. Now, what does this mean? Well, no games were mentioned, but I think Eurogamer said that Super Mario Galaxy is among the titles, alongside a couple of other 3D Mario favorites. I would assume Mario 3D World. I would assume both Galaxies are in there.
I would hope so.
and unfortunately, Sunshine.
What? Sunshine?
That's also a bad game. No,
you drink too much.
I do not. Well, I mean, I do. But the biggest enemy you face in Sunshine is the damn camera. That kills you more often than not. That camera's terrible.
I'll agree with you there.
But I'm hoping for a new Mario 64 because that game is legendary. But I would assume that we'll start to get a lot of these kind of middle tier, I guess, consoles from not Nintendo and Super Nintendo, but like 64, GameCube, Wii, and get them on a proper console.
I
Switch.
think, didn't the rumor state it was like the 3D Marios were going to get ported over? Because I think most of the 2D stuff is already on Switch and like the virtual consoles or whatever.
Right. So it'll be good to see things like I want to play Galaxy on a proper console because I love those games, and the Wii was such a hindrance. And
It really was.
I can't wait to play that on a proper console because those games are fantastic.
Yeah. I'm excited for it. I hope they bring all of them over. I mean, who knows what they're going to bring over, or even if this rumor is true. I mean, it is just an unconfirmed rumor, but
right.
I mean, I'm excited about it. I would probably dip on a few of those.
Oh yeah, it would make total sense too. It's 35 years, nothing to sneeze at. So it's something's got to happen, right?
I'd rather see a Mario Odyssey 2.
Yes, because I'm glad that you finally got through it.
Yes,
I'm so glad you did.
It's good.
It is that ending is just so good.
Yep,
it is just beautiful. Let's see. I'm going through some quick news bits here.
I will say this: if this rumor pans out to be true, and we get a bunch of Mario games out, does this mean we don't get Breath of the Wild 2 this year? Because the assumption has been 2020, but
I never thought it was gonna be this year. I think if we get any Breath of the Wild 2, it'll be sometime next year. And I think now that the world's kind of stopped right now, that's going to push that even more.
I fear you might be right. I don't know though. I'm really keeping the fingers crossed. I want more.
Maybe it's
more.
It's some like side story or something. I don't know, but
yeah. I don't know. I think, like you said, I think it's all up in the air with the virus situation. Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah, anything that we thought will not be. But
I keep telling people, I've been telling people since January because of this. It's like, no, all bets are off. What do you mean by that? All bets are off. What does that mean? It means anything that you expected to happen in gaming or anything else this year, forget about it. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yep. And they pushed GDC back to August, and they're calling it GDC Summer. So that's still going to happen. But something did drop on Tuesday.
Oh.
Because this was announced and released. Because Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Campaign Remastered came out Tuesday for PS4.
How?
So it got released and launched on PS4. It's coming April 30th to Battle.net and to Xbox.
How weird is it that they just kind of shadow dropped it? I mean, they not really a shadow drop, but no real big fanfare or anything. It's just like, hey, guess what? Here's this game, and it's out tomorrow. Yeah,
it's
a big
weird.
deal.
It is a big deal. I don't know. We had been talking about this game for about a year or so because we kept seeing these SKUs pop up on like Amazon UK or something, and all of a sudden it's like, well, we didn't hear nothing, and all of a sudden, bloop, there you go, it's out.
Yeah, it's very odd the way that they did that.
And if you get that, you also get some free stuff in the new Modern Warfare. You get like skins and stuff for Warzone, and so there's some compatibility between that, which makes me think that they'll do more of just stealth dropping these remakes to give you stuff in new game.
It's cool. It's so weird. I mean, this whole last part of 2019 and first part of 2020 has just, I mean, even without the whole virus situation, it's just been really weird as far as gaming marketing goes.
It has. And I know like the Call of Duty game that's getting done this year is supposed to be a remake of Black Ops, but I don't know will that just be something like this where here it is and you get bonuses for Warzone? I don't know. It's all bets are off.
Yeah.
All bets are freaking off right now. Let's see. Try to pull some more. I knew I had some more news. What are you playing these days besides watching her play
I honestly, that's all I've been doing. Well, actually, last night I popped back in Jedi Fallen Order because I've still got that from GameFly, and I have not played through it all yet. But
nice.
God dang, I forgot how good of a game that really is. So
yeah,
it's damn good.
It's all right. It's a good time. It's a good time.
So riddle me this: with the virus situation still ongoing, do you think next gen gets delayed? Do you think
Yes.
next gen goes to 2021?
I don't think the Xbox will, but I think PS5 will.
I don't know. I think there's a darn good chance. But with that said, like, what do you do for holiday? Oh, well, that's why we've delayed Last of Us.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I could...
Actually, that's not so crazy of a thought. Maybe the delay of Last of Us, maybe that is like an anticipation of, oh shit, we've got to delay PlayStation 5. That's going to leave this huge hole in our holiday lineup. So we'll sit on Last of Us. Yeah, that could be. Huh.
Possibility,
Very
sure.
conspiratorial. Surprise, surprise.
That's so unlike you. The Outer Worlds is coming to the Nintendo Switch on June 5th.
Cool.
It's a hell of a game to plug into the Nintendo Switch. So
yeah, excellent.
It's a great game.
Another game I should sit down and play more.
I have been spending too much money on Steam because there are so many sales right now. I picked up the last expansion of Final Fantasy 14 online.
Oh, nice.
And got back into that a little bit. I got the expansions for Elder Scrolls Online. It's like $15 to get like the 3 released expansions.
Sure.
And of course, it's no monthly fee, so I just pay $15. I have everything so far because Greymoor is coming out in May.
Okay.
I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2. Oh my god, I got hooked back into Destiny 2 again.
Seems to happen a lot to you.
It does. That game is so good. Of course, Animal Crossing every day. I got to sign in today and get my bells. And of course, I'm just geared up for next week, man. Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's nearly upon us.
It's not going to seem real when the game finally launches.
No, that game was announced and talked about forever, and then not talked about forever, and then it's in March, and then no, it's in April, and oh god, is it a real thing? Is it actually happening? And it's next week.
I wish they would just release it early already.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a heck of a line at your local. So GameStop did announce that they're gonna be closing, like permanently shutting down like 300 or so stores. So these stores that are shut down may not open again. And to hear, I was doing a little bit of research into what they were doing as far as their curbside delivery, and it's freaking insane. So, okay. So if I'm hearing this right, no one is allowed in the store but the employees.
Okay, it's paradise already.
Yeah, but the kiosks are still up. But the door has to just be propped just enough for them to reach the hand out and take your payment. Now they have a bag around their hand to grab your money and or your credit card. And then they take it in the plastic bag guarding their hand. And then they do this like Houdini or David Blaine like motion. Well, they take your money and then they'll put the card and the product in the bag, not touching either the card or the product, and leaving it in the bag. And then they will hand you the product through the little opening in the door.
It feels like we're all the crazy cat lady now. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking A. Thanks a lot, fucking China. Seriously. You guys botched this whole thing.
No. Well, either way, it's. What?
I mean, it's the truth.
No, I mean, I don't want people to go out here like going to Chinese people and just.
Well, no, I'm not. It's not Chinese people's fault. I love Chinese people. I got nothing against them. It's the damn communist government over there. Those people, they can go saw it off.
I love that term, sawed off.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
No, actually, we went down to our local favorite Chinese eatery for some takeout tonight. So,
oh, man.
Yeah, I'm not like xenophobic or anything. So don't take that as a xenophobic comment.
Just because. Anyway, But no, it's insane what they're doing. GameStop's not essential. GameStop has not been essential for the better part of the past decade. So why would you start now?
That's a great Onion article. GameStop learns that they're not essential to the gaming industry.
Oh God. Well, I just saw this too. Oh, the Wonderful 101 Remastered arrives in May. So that officially got a release.
There's another thing that I think is so freaking weird, because here's a game that was obviously finished, and they're like, you know what? We're not going to release it unless we get a bunch of money up front through a Kickstarter. Right. It's like you held the game for ransom is what you did. Plus, you also got a bunch of dirty money from Tencent. So what are you doing holding a Kickstarter for this damn game? And it's not like it's only going to be available to Kickstarter people. I mean, they're going to release it at retail. So really, really shady. Really makes me not a fan of Platinum Games. And where the hell is Bayonetta 3?
Well, they're holding it from you because you hate them so much.
Apparently. I love Platinum, but they got really shady all of a sudden.
I don't know, man.
Why is everybody so shady?
Because business. Because business. Any other gaming news there, Dave?
I don't think so. I'm trying to think. I really wish that board game collection that they talked about in the Nintendo Direct Mini last week.
Yep, the new Clubhouse games, yeah.
Yeah, I wish that was out now. That feels like the perfect pandemic release to have. I think they're missing the boat just a little bit by not having it ready till June.
That's how I feel about Animal Crossing. It's a great way to just kind of forget about what's going on right now. So it's a great time for that. I know next week we'll be talking a lot about FF7 because it's going to happen. And Square Enix's warning of I'm pulling up the article now about Square Enix is saying, hey, by the way, there might be shipping delays.
Oh boy. Yeah, I think it's going to have to be a digital, which is going to feel really weird buying a game day one, like a major AAA title day one digitally for me.
So here's the quote from Square Enix. The quote, the worldwide release of Final Fantasy VII Remake on April 10th will go ahead. However, with the unforeseeable changes in distribution and retail landscape, which varies across countries, it is increasingly likely that some of you will not get a hold of your copy of the game on release date. We are monitoring the situation on a daily basis and working with our partners, retailers, and Square Enix teams across Europe and the Americas to do everything we can to ensure as many of you as possible can play the game on April 10th. That does not give me much hope. So,
nope.
I was going to go physical with the deluxe edition, but I thought for a split second about that first class edition with the Cloud bike, but I said, if that was a Sephiroth statue, I would go all in. But it's Cloud, and Cloud kind of sucks. So I'm okay with not getting the super duper $330 version of it. So also it's sold out. So
now if it was like a diorama with like Cloud, Sephiroth, Tifa, and Aerith, then yeah, I think
because Sephiroth is involved.
Yeah,
so yes.
Take my money. Take it.
Yes, take all my money. But yeah, it's gonna be a great game. I can't wait to play it. I can't wait to get into a world that I loved from the beginning and seeing what's all different.
Yep, me too. I'm excited and a little bit terrified to embrace this next evolution of Final Fantasy.
Yep, and it's part one of many. Part one of at least, 3 or 4, they're saying? Perhaps?
Who knows? I hope that they don't all take 5 years to come out, because we'll be waiting for the next 15 years for all these.
You had to imagine they're at least somewhat through part 2 by now. Like, they at least have something ready.
I don't know, man. I wish that they would do something to mark Chrono Trigger's 25th anniversary this year. Like, give us an art book or something. I don't need a remake of Chrono Trigger.
I'll say we've had that at least 3 or 4 times now.
Well, we've had re-releases of it, but not like a remake like what they're doing with Trials of Mana or something like that.
Sure.
But
right.
Damn it, just give us there's never been a Chrono Trigger art book. Never. Give us a Chrono Trigger art book at the very least. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. That's it. That's my last gaming thing for the week.
Okay. All right. Well, so the plan, like we said, coming up here on this very Twitch channel at midnight Eastern, our good friend, one Jared, the infinite knife, the knife that keeps on stabbing because he's infinite, you see.
You know it.
He's going to be playing his first run-through of the soon-to-be-released Resident Evil 3 remake, and he said he will scream the little girl. So I will tune in as well because those games freak me, especially these new remakes are freaking me out.
It's the safest way to watch it is in
watch
bed
someone else
under the covers. Yeah.
And of course, the next week I'll be streaming over at twitch.tv/Jefferoth around this time next week. Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yay!
Also, next weekend, doing a little bit of Extra Life United thing. Raising money for the kids, raising money for the University of Iowa Stead Family Children's Hospital. There are some worldwide tournaments happening with the winners getting a piece of the $150,000 prize pool to go to the hospital.
Wow.
I am partaking. I'm going to sign up for a couple of tournaments. Hopefully I get into the Uno tournament as well as the Power Rangers Battle for the Grid tournament. We'll see if the spots are still open. But anyway, next weekend I'll be streaming, raising some money for the hospital because right now they need it. So
yep. Well, good luck to you.
Next weekend. Thank you. And other than that, of course, follow me on Twitter at Jefferoth, at twitch.tv/Jefferoth as well for your streaming goodness. I stream pretty much every night now because I have nowhere else to go. Also at YouTube at the Jefferoth. More stuff happening there as well.
All right. Well, you can follow Jefferoth. So that's the best place to follow me is follow Jefferoth. You can follow me.
And follow NerdBacon.
Follow NerdBacon. Follow me at Dave the Watchman on Twitter. And otherwise, stay the hell off my lawn.
That's right. Clouds, move.
Yeah.
So next week, we're back around the same time, getting all gushy about Final Fantasy VII Remake, about how it'll be mere minutes away. Any more gaming news that drops next week, we will react and probably, I don't know, say something stupid because we do best.
That's really what I do best. Yeah.
We do best.
Oh, yes.
I never lie.
I think next week, since Final Fantasy VII won't be officially out yet, next week the discussion will be which one was the ultimate waifu, Tifa or Aerith?
We may even do our rankings of all the mainline Final Fantasy games.
That's an excellent idea. Yes. Yes.
So plenty of those to go around. No real bad games, but some games came out.
It's our final Fantasy Spectacular.
That's right.
All
right. From all of us here at NerdBacon.com for the Game Tasty Show, I am the almighty Jefferoth.
And I'm Dave the Watchman.
We will see you here next time. Same bacon time, same bacon channel. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay indoors. Only go out if you have to, like I do. And please, for now, forever, then, now, always, game tasty. And watch WrestleMania this weekend. Be a little weird, but watch it.
It's going to be really weird.
See you guys next week.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Peace.